Hello. How are y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jake, as it says down there. I am a hypnotherapist. I'm a quantum guide, and I use hypnosis in my practice in a variety of ways, but most importantly, helping you to connect with you, your inner knowing, your wisdom, that part of you that's got it figured out. At least from our perspective. I'm sure higher selves have their own work that they're working through too, right? As we all do. But uh anyway, today is about the future. Today is about really diving a little bit into what can future visioning do for y'all. How can this modality, how can this method of exploration and of um, exploring your subconscious and your possible timelines, how can that help you? I've talked about this before, but we're going to dive into it more and highlight a couple other different ways that this technique can help you, because it's my focus for this month. We've got 2026 right around the corner, and now is the time to start planning what you're doing and how you are making your dreams your reality, and how you're moving into that best possible future. So before we dive into the show, of course, want to say hello, Carol. So good to see you. Hi, Ben. Hope you're there and hope you both are doing well. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Hello, Corbin, of course. Glad to have you here. As always, I appreciate your support all the time. Before we jump into the show, quick mention of the gratitude gathering coming up on Saturday, the 29th. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, so 6 p.m. Central. If you haven't grabbed your ticket, make sure you grab that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to get together with Soul Tribe, Soul Family, and focus on that gratitude frequency. I've got some time set aside for community sharing. Got some exercise, a little exercise for you guys. We're going to do a guided meditation and really just soak in the high vibes. So if you are looking for something to do on Saturday evening, and you want to join the Soul Tribe here, I definitely encourage you grab your free ticket. That is on my bookings page. And most importantly, I'm so excited because I am planning a workshop. Here, let me pop my banner down so you guys can see. I'm planning a workshop for December. So this is coming up on December 13th, and this is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central as well. And I was inspired with this one by one of our Soul Tribe. So thank you to that wonderful Soul Tribe member. But I thought this would be a really fun way to end out the year and bring in some magic to the season. And I know a lot of you in the group are connected to the fairies and have had experiences. And I just wanted to throw together a little event. We'll do a meditation to connect with the fairies for our best and highest good. And some time for community sharing as well, because I think it's really fun and important that we share our stories and our experiences to help encourage others, validate others, and help us all to continue developing our psychic gifts and our clairvoyance, our clair awareness beyond this reality. So if you are drawn to the fairies, or if you just want to have a good time, come and join us for that. Tickets are available on my bookings page as well. Going to be 11.11 for the ticket here. I wanted to make it really affordable and welcome all of you in. So anyway, excited for that. Carol asking, if we purchase a ticket, can we watch it on replay? Yes, absolutely. I will be sending out the recording of the workshop, and we'll definitely be sharing that out with you guys so that you can do it if you're not able to make it live. Let me pull that down. So yeah. It's going to be a fun time. I'm excited. And I think it's going to be fascinating to hear all of y'all's stories too. I have my own fairy stories that I'm excited to share too. So today is about the future. Today is about future visioning. And what is that all about? If you don't know what future visioning is, I definitely encourage you to check out my website for more information. I've got a lot on there for you to read through and to peruse, to really dive deep into what this is all about. If you don't want to go there and you want to hear me talk, which is probably why you're here, I'll tell you a little bit about it. So, future visioning is really about helping you to both practically and intuitively tap into the future. This is not about fantasy and making up some unattainable future. This is about helping you tap into those future timelines that you can attain, that you can reach, that are meant for you. And we can work in a lot of different ways to help get you information from the future and from your future timelines. But this is really about helping you to not just goal set or dream of what could be possible. Depending on if you're looking at future visioning for personal or professional use, this can help you in your day-to-day life with relationships, um, with your moving situation or your living situation. It can help with uh, a lot of different things in your personal life, tapping into those future timelines. It can also help you in a professional sense or in your business. So whether you're an entrepreneur or you work for someone else, you've got your job. If you love your job, if you hate your job, uh, we can help you to understand what are those possible futures that are available to you, and and how do you get there. It's really not about uh, just tapping into this vision. It's about getting you the steps to get there, and that's what I really love about this way of working, because it's really practical. It's really focused on getting you those need to know details around how you make your dreams a reality, how you make your dreams possible. um, and this really is, I think, the way of the future. As cliche or as ironic as that is, it's the way of the future. I really believe it. You know, many people are familiar with past life regression, and they're used to the ways that the past can help. It's been around for a little bit of time. A lot of people in a lot of different cultures, ways of thinking, worldviews, understand past life regression and the ways that this can help you um, to find release, find understanding and insight from those past experiences that have formed your soul and have informed your current lifetime. But not as many people are aware of the future and the potential of tapping into the future. And so we can tap into future timelines and or future lifetimes in the same way that we would go back to past lives through regression. We would go forward to future lifetimes, and this is a way that you can get a glimpse of your soul's path. Um, but we can also look at your future in this lifetime, and I think that that is some of the most profound and powerful ways of using future life progression, because um, when you're looking at your future, there's so many options that can be in front of you, or maybe you don't have any options and you're just unsure of where you're going and what's happening. Everyone's unique, and the way that you view the future is going to be different than others. But when we are thinking about our lives and the ways that we move through our lives, so many people wish that they had a roadmap, or they had the answers um, to what's going on in their life and why they're doing what they're doing. And future visioning can help you to understand those possible future timelines for you, helping you to have courage and confidence in moving forward, moving towards those futures, those dreams. Um, it can also help you gain clarity on what that future looks like, and and how you build it. So, all in all, we're going to talk about future visioning today, and I'm going to talk through some client examples, some session stories that I've had with some folks, illustrating how this comes to life and how this future visioning can help you, and can help you uh, to make that future a reality. Before I dive into it, though, I do see new friends popping into the chat. It's good to see y'all. Hello, Colleen. Good to see you. Mila, hello. Welcome to the show. Yes, much love to you as well, Colleen. Much love to everyone. Hey, Jody. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. All right. So, Carol says, I don't need the answers, but a roadmap would be fantastic, right? I know. And that's where this can help you to have at least a little bit of an idea of where you're going. Um, you know, we are here to live our lives. We are here to experience human experiences and to have those lessons and those experiences that our soul chose as we incarnated. Um, and And so sometimes it is in our best interest, it is for our best and highest good to experience what we need to go through that, to live through that, rather than have the answers beforehand. But that doesn't mean that we can't have some help along the way and that we can't have some support and some insight. And that's where these techniques of either going to the past or the future can help you in in gaining some clarity, in understanding your direction, in understanding your purpose or your um, or just more information around whatever it is that you're looking for information on. So before I dive into some stories, I did want to remind you guys, if you pop onto my website, you can find out more information about future visioning. Click on the hypnosis services, future visioning there, and you can find out plenty more about this process and what it looks like, what it is, how it can help you. We'll be talking more about that today. But then also head on over to the bookings and you'll see that I have 10% off of my future life progression sessions, my future visioning sessions. So that's your standard future visioning session here, or any of the other options, whether you're looking at career and life purpose, relationship and love, or if you are interested in future vision coaching, that is also 10% off for this month. All of these options you can book for any date. You just want to make sure that you choose that date while it's still November, while that 10% is still on there. So just need to book in November. You can pick any date on my calendar. So let me know what you guys have questions about with your future. What are those areas of your life that you're unsure about, or that you're nervous about or anxious about? It might even be that you have an idea of what you want to do or how you want to do it, but maybe you are stressed about it or anxious about it. I know even when I have a plan, I can still be anxious about that future because you haven't seen it, you haven't lived it. It's unknown. So I'd love to hear what you guys are experiencing in your life. What are those topics, whether it be career or relationship or a moving situation? What's that thing that you'd love insight on? I'd love to hear down in the chat or in the comments. So one of the ways that I think future visioning can be really, really powerful and really helpful is in the realm of career, in the realm of job, uh, of your work. And so there's a couple different ways that we can approach this and different ways that future visioning can help you. With any of these techniques with future visioning, it's really tailored to you. And the session is we work together to get you what you need out of it. And so these are just examples. If you are resonating with this information, if you're curious, definitely feel free to reach out and we can talk about your individual case, and what's going on in your life and how this might benefit you. But with career, sometimes people are looking for career insights or they're looking for a career change. I know plenty of people who go to college, get a degree, start out in their field, and are miserable or are surprised by what the job actually entails, or some aspect of that work just doesn't jive with them and they realize that they want to change. But after putting in all of that time and that money and that effort, it's like, where do I go from here and what do I do? So if you're looking for career insight, this is a really powerful way of finding that. Job options are also something that can be looked into with future visioning. If you've got a couple job options that you're looking at, or if you are thinking about a couple different paths, this can help you to check out what would those paths look like, and really see and feel into that life, into that reality that you could build. And how does that feel? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? What do you wish you'd done differently? All of this can be found out through future visioning. This is tapping into your future possibilities. Um, and that's really the power of hypnosis and the power of hypnotic trance. We're able to bypass some of the consciousness and the conscious blocks that can keep us stuck or can keep us questioning or unsure, and really tap into that information and pull it out. It's really cool to see and to hear and to explore in this way. Um, Another way that this can help you is if you have like a work project or something specific that you're working on. It could be a book, it could be a course, it could be your offerings. Maybe you're thinking about offering client sessions, and you're not sure exactly how does that look, or what should you offer. um, I think a lot of people uh, get overwhelmed by the amount of options. I know that I've had those moments in my life. You look out at the world and there's just so much that you can do. Uh, oh, I love this. Yes, Carol, I love this question. New house, abundance, correct path. Good stuff. Good stuff. Definitely things that you can uncover through future visioning. Um, the new house, I've been using future visioning myself as Corbin and I have been navigating our future move, and I've been using it to uh, look into the possibilities for us, and what do those lives look like? What does that house and that property look like? We both went forward and looked at that, and it's really helped us to understand. Okay, is that really what's best for us? Is that really the life that we want or the property we want? So it is helpful. It is really helpful, and I use it personally. So with career, uh, one of the clients that I had, she came in with a variety of things that she was looking for help with, insight into the future. One of the things was her career and her jobs. She was not super happy in her job. She didn't. There was aspects of it that she didn't love, but then there are also aspects that she did, and so she wasn't sure exactly where she should go. She should stick it out, or she should stay, or she should try a different option. And when we took her ahead into her possible futures, we checked out a few different options. Um, and in her current job, on her current path, it was fine, but there were drawbacks to that. She still didn't love the things that she loved. There wasn't like a change in perspective or in how she felt in that future. When we tapped into other options, other possibilities for her, checking out, okay, well, if you try a different job, what does that look like? We found her a couple different options, and in each one, she was able to see, how does that job make me feel? How does that job affect the rest of my life and the people in my life? Because we don't always think about the ways that um, different careers or different jobs might impact our family, our friends, our social life, where we live. These all can have effects on these different areas of our life. And so this client was able to understand those different possibilities and then decide what was going to be best for her. And that's another thing that I think is important to talk about with future visioning, is the ways that we really need to remember that we do have free will, and we have sovereignty in our lives. And just because you see something in that future, uh, just because you see something in the future doesn't mean that that is set in stone, that that needs to be, that you have to follow that path. It's really about helping you understand the power that you have to shape your future, to shape your reality. and to do it in a mindful way, in a strategic way, in a practical way. This isn't, you know, going to anyway, losing my train of thought here, guys. It sometimes happens to me on Mondays. I lose my trains of thoughts because my mind is going a thousand different places. I don't know about you guys, but I come out of the weekend sometimes and there's just a lot of things that could pull my attention, and I end up with a lot of mental activity on Mondays, and it is sometimes hard for me to ground down, hard for me to focus in. So bear with me if I'm a little scattered tonight. I appreciate you guys being here um, and listening to what the future has to hold. Um, what else was I going to say about that? Ultimately, career is, I think, one of the best ways of using this technique. Career, job, work, and especially uh, if you do have your own business, or you're an entrepreneur, or you have dreams of doing that. I think that this is really helpful in gaining insight and clarity into what works for you, what's not going to work for you. Um, I've had many a client able to get insight and clarity on their work projects from the future. Um, Books that they're writing. I had a client once who, not only did she get like the topic and the information that she'd be presenting in that book, but she was even able to get some of the chapter titles and concepts, and that helped her to feel confident in stepping out and starting to write more of that and putting more of her effort into that book. Um, all in all, it's about helping you to understand and see and feel into that, and then get those steps to get there. Soul work in future lives is another way uh, that I really love to use this work, and I've seen really profound impact on my clients. So again, we talked about past life regression. A lot of you are probably familiar with past life regression and how that can benefit you by tapping into those lifetimes, those experiences um, that are from your past and that are influencing your present, that have that connection through the quantum, and that have lessons or experiences that you need to understand, integrate, release. There's a lot of different ways that PLR can help. When we're looking at future lifetimes, like I said, future lifetimes can help to really give you a different perspective of your soul's journey. And I think that tapping into the future and tapping into those future lifetimes can help in such a different way, such a different vibe than past life regression. And not that I don't love that work, but there's just such a high vibe when we tap into these future lifetimes, and being able to see the soul's growth, being able to see yourself in that next lifetime, having lived this one, having had these experiences that you've had, and where do you end up? What is that like? What is your next lifetime like? And it can be fascinating. It can be really cool information for sure. I had one client who, she was shown a future lifetime as this interspace traveling scientist. She was on like this big old ship, and she worked in like the environmental science department of that ship, and was even doing experiments on other planets. And it was such a fascinating lifetime to tap into. It was such a cool one. And beyond just like the fascination of it all, it seeing this lifetime, seeing this version of my client, it brought her to tears, because she saw herself working this amazing job, seeing this evolution of her soul into that next lifetime. And it was really cool to see the ways that her interests and her passions in this lifetime kind of leveled up in that next lifetime, how she was able to see, where does this take me and where can this take me? And she had come to that session having a pretty tough moment in her life, a pretty tough period, and this gave her a lot of hope. It gave her a lot of uh, joy when she saw this, and to be able to see and feel into that experience of her soul and bring some of that energy back. Uh, it can change your perspective in the moment. It can help shift you out of those tough periods. Um, and I think that that's one of the beautiful ways that this work can help, and can help from that soul perspective. Another lifetime that I brought a client into a future lifetime, they were shown actual a lifetime as an angel, which was pretty wild, an angelic being. And that was a very cool experience. Definitely was not what either of us expected when we reached into the future. But it wasn't just about seeing this fascinating non-human lifetime. It was about tapping into that future self, seeing what they were doing, what they were working on, and the reason that my client was shown that future lifetime, his future self said, was because he really needed to enjoy his lifetime in this one. They said that there was a need to not get caught up in the saving the world mentality, and that future lifetime was more about that sort of saving and watching over the world. In this lifetime, he was a human, and he was meant to enjoy his life as well, doing what he came here to do, living out his purpose. But they emphasize that Earth is still a paradise, that Earth is a beautiful place to live and be and exist, and that it was really important for my client to see and understand this, that he needed to enjoy his life in this lifetime. And so it's not always, it's not always about like pushing you back onto your soul's path. It's not always about, you know, showing you that the job you're currently in is bad and you need a new one. Sometimes it's a simple message of having more fun or bringing more joy into your life, understanding the perspective, um, that glimpsing beyond this current lifetime can give you. And right, Jody, wouldn't it be fun? It would be awesome to be on a ship traveling. I have definitely had plenty of dreams of Star Trek and Star Wars lives, and hopping on a spaceship and flying around. Um, and I do believe that that's coming at some point. I just don't see why it wouldn't. Um, and yeah, Corbin, I agree. Sessions with tears are the best. I feel like that emotional release, that physical sign of that emotional release, can be very confirming for folks, um, beyond the information that they receive in a session. But I definitely see that, whether it be sad tears, which are certainly helpful in and cathartic to release, but tears of joy, tears of happiness and bliss. Um, I definitely get all types of tears in sessions, and they are definitely all they are definitely all beautiful and worth it. I mean, it's I think that so often we shy away from our emotions in day to day life. Got to keep it all together, keep it pulled and buttoned up, and we need to release our emotions at times. We need to let that emotion uh, express itself. We need to feel it, because if we are denying our emotions all the time, that's where we do get physical ailments and illnesses, things popping up, demanding our attention because we weren't paying attention. So those were a couple different ways that I've seen the future visioning experience benefit folks, and the ways that clients have benefited from this work. I there are definitely stories that I'm not able to share because they're pretty personal. Especially with future visioning, it's not that we're going to a past life or a future lifetime. Oftentimes we go to the future in this lifetime, and so it's just a little bit closer to home, and not everyone is willing or comfortable sharing that sort of information. And so do my best to bring in those client examples I can talk about, as well as talking about things in more of a general sense to give you these examples, give you these ways that this can help. Um, and I hope that it helps. I hope that these stories resonate with you guys. Um, Beyond the ways that I've mentioned today, love and relationships. I talked about that a couple weeks back. The ways that love and relationships can be that the future visioning can benefit this part of our lives, whether it's gaining insight into compatibility, if you're looking at like timing of relationships, when are you going to meet that person, when are you going to find love, um, understanding how a relationship unfolds, what are those challenges, or what do you need to know to build that future that you want. If you're looking for spiritual growth, or even connection with your higher self or with future self, um, future visioning is a great way of tapping into these parts of yourself. Um, and like I've already said, soul growth can definitely uh, be achieved through these methods, whether it be going to the past or the future. Beyond that, oh, I was gonna say too, if you haven't checked out my future session, I did a full session recording with my friend and fellow hypnotherapist Jennifer. She progressed me into the future, and she took me 100 years out, and we looked at the future of the world and got some insight, and that was really fascinating to explore. And excited to share that with you guys. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on my channel. But I definitely saw the ways that I was able to tap into my higher self during that session, because you're able to connect with these parts of yourselves through your subconscious, through that trance state, and whether it be your higher self, whether it be your future self, there is there are different ways that we can look at these facets of self, these facets of our soul, and there's always beautiful insight and encouragement to be found when we tap into these parts of ourselves. Oh, thank you, Carol. It was, wasn't it? It was really fun. Um, I was excited to share a session where I was actually the client with you guys, because typically I'm in the driver's seat, right? Oh, thank you, Jody. I'm glad you enjoyed it too. Uh, Major life transitions are definitely a moment to consider future visioning. If you are at a major transition, whether you're exploring a move or relocating, if there are, again, career or job opportunities uh, that are weighing on you, or that you're weighing and you want insight into, um, any of those transitions. It could be it could be a breakup, or a shift in change in your relationship. It could be a death, or a transition of a friend or a family member. These major moments, these major transition periods, are definitely moments to think about visioning your future, and putting some intention into what you're building and how you're building it. These moments are moments to reinvent ourselves, um, to step out in new ways, uh, to up level and grow. And I think that the more tools that we have available, the more likely we'll find the thing that works for us. And so I think if you're resonating with this idea of getting some clarity, getting some insight into your future, getting practical steps to build that, I definitely encourage you check out Future Visioning, book a session. Um, and then the other ways that I've been able to use this, can be in health, well-being. This can be physical, mental. Certainly, some of these things going on with our bodies can be linked to the past and to past lives. Certainly, something to consider, and that's where chatting and doing that consultation, we can oftentimes figure out together what's going to be the best fit. But it's also about your higher self guiding you along that journey. And I've had plenty of sessions where we set out to go to the past and we ended up going to the future, or vice versa. We set out to go to the future and we went to the past. So it's really what's best for you, and that information will flow to you. But anyway, if you have health stuff going on or well being things, um, I really like working in the future with this because it's a different thing to be able to see and feel that you that works out every day, or that you that is eating healthy and taking care of themselves. I've had a couple experiences in sessions where I have like noticed the differences in my body. I had one session where I we had she had taken me, I think it was probably 10 years, 15 years in the future, something like that. We were looking into career stuff, and one of the main things that I remember was that, like, I could feel my chest muscles, like, I felt buffer, like, I felt more muscular, and it was just such a strange thing for me to notice, but I noticed it, and I felt different, and I noticed how it made me stand differently, having more muscles to support me, and hold my hold my body up, and so it's just an interesting um, thing to feel that difference and to notice. And we can certainly, that might be just a byproduct of your session. You might realize that, oh, that future me does do this, that, or the other thing to take care of themselves more. But especially if you're struggling with routines or health problems or well-being things, this is a great way to work, kind of reverse engineer that habit, that practice, because we're able to tap into that future you that is healthy, that is doing that thing to take care of you that you want to, whether it be exercising or eating right, or whatever it is. We can help you tap into that, and then understand not only how to get there, how to make that happen, but we also anchor in that energy. And I've seen this so many times, like the power that tapping into the future has accelerates your progress towards it. It helps you to move even faster towards that future. And so I definitely encourage you guys, check it out, think about it. Future visioning is such a cool tool, and again, I see this as the way of the future, because especially in this now moment, in this current time, things are changing so fast. The world is just like kind of wonky and wild, and it's exciting, it's fun, but it also can be overwhelming, or uh, disorienting, or the plan that you had laid out for yourself maybe doesn't make sense anymore because things are changing so fast. So that's where tapping into the future can help you really get ahead of things and really work and move in a different way. And so, regardless of what area of life that you are struggling with, uh, or overwhelmed by, or maybe just curious about, you don't need to be struggling necessarily. You could just be curious about one of these areas of your life. Um, Future vision can help. It really can. And I've experienced that myself. I've seen that with my clients. And I encourage you to take advantage of the 10% off that I've got going on this month, to book your session, because it will be worth it. And again, we can work together to get you what you need out of this, to tailor the experience for you. Um, and you can certainly come with a few different things, and we'll talk about it. We'll decide what we can cover in one session. Um, and and get you the results that you're looking for, get you the information that you're looking for. Thanks, Corbin. The future sessions are really fascinating. I am glad you think so. Hello, Pumpkin Spice Princess. Good to see you. All right, guys. Tonight's going to be. Oh, we've got a question here from Colleen. Hello. I'm struggling with finishing things. Can you help me? Ah, yes, procrastination. There can be a lot of different sources for that, for not finishing things, and absolutely, we can help you. Um, Future visioning could be the route to go with that. Could certainly tap into that future you that is finishing things, helping you to understand, especially if it's a matter of putting your attention or your focus in the wrong things. We can help you get the insight into what would be the right things to focus on. I know for myself, oftentimes I'll find myself not finishing the things that ultimately my soul doesn't want me to finish. And if I put my energy in the right place, then I don't have that same dragging my feet. But again, what is your situation and what's going on with you is definitely going to be individual. And that's where definitely booking a consultation is a great suggestion so that we can talk about it and figure out what's going on with you. Um, but this could also be something where, um, the solution might lie in the past, and it could be uh, that this pattern, this loop, is linked to something in your past or in the past lifetime, and that could be the way that we shift things and help you gain that insight. So there's a lot of different ways, or there's a lot of different sources for that sort of a problem. I love it. I'm the champion procrastinator. It is a struggle at times, and I think especially in today's world, today's reality, there's so much distraction too, and so many times I like just end up spinning around, going from my phone to my computer to my whatever, you're bouncing around, and it's I feel like it's harder today than it ever has been to stay focused and to stay on task. Um and I think some of that's deliberate. I think some of that is uh orchestrated to keep us in our loops. Um, but anyway, I digress. Well, I'd love the chance to. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you, Colleen. All right, guys. So before I let you go for the evening, thanks for joining me. I wanted to remind you guys about the fairy event coming up. Pop my banner down for a moment. December 13th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can grab your ticket now. This is going to sneak up on us. I promise. We're going to have Thanksgiving this week, and then suddenly it's going to be the new year. So grab your ticket now so you don't forget. Hope to see you at this really fun event. It's going to be a great time. 90 minutes. We'll have some opportunity for community sharing. We'll have some exercises, guided meditation. It's going to be a really fun time connecting with the fairies, connecting with that energy, and really dipping into the magic, because I think that we could all use more magic in our lives. I really do. All right. Absolutely. My pleasure, Lynn. Thanks for joining us tonight and for listening to me yabber. Um, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go eat some food and maybe that'll ground me down a little bit. I appreciate you working with me while my head is a spinning. Maybe some of that is Mercury retrograde. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Ooh, yes, absolutely. Lynn, I love this. Let's connect to Sasquatch in 2026, please. I love that idea. I've actually been working on a meditation around that idea, and I am waiting for the right moment to release that. So working on that, and then I would love to do a workshop on that too. I feel like that would be a really fun time. Um, Really fun time. I have a friend who went to Mount Shasta recently, and she had some interesting experiences there, including some Sasquatch interaction, some Bigfoot sighting. So I'm waiting on her to be ready to come on and talk about it. But I wanted to bring her on and talk about her trip, talk about her experiences, because it was great. All right, Corbin is saying, "Have a great night," because I need to go and eat dinner. I know. When is she coming on? I don't know. I need to reach out to her and pester her again. Kareen, you guys have met Kareen. I've done a session with her. We did the AI session a while back, um, and so gonna have Kareen back on in a bit. All right, thanks, Lynn. Have a good night, y'all. We will talk soon. See you tomorrow night, Tuesday. We are doing a show with Beth on home energy work. It's going to be a really fun one. So I'll see you tomorrow and hope you all have a wonderful night. All right. Bye, y'all.